Welcome back to Steam Daily, where we're about to uncover the hidden treasures among the game releases of 16 October 2023. The game Wizard with a Gun is a cooperative sandbox survival game set in a magical wilderness filled with dangerous creatures and arcane mysteries. Players can collect resources, craft magical ammunition, customize their wizard's appearance, and explore randomly generated biomass. They can play alone or with friends, experimenting with spell combinations that can either overwhelm enemies or lead to disastrous consequences. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Shadow Wizard Money Gang is a promising game with a fast-paced and enjoyable gameplay experience. The game integrates intriguing spell casting mechanics, although some find the spell combination somewhat underwhelming due to limited materials. The generic gunplay and lack of enemy variety have been noted, drawing comparisons to more diverse games such as Hades. Several critics have highlighted the need for quality of life improvements, particularly in terms of inventory management and crafting mechanics. Despite these drawbacks, the game has been praised for its unique blend of genres, offering a moderately challenging experience that can be enhanced by strategic synergies and effective use of timers. The game Divilixa is a dark and intense 2D action RPG set in an eerie dungeon. Players must combat undead, monsters, and perilous creatures while preserving their sanity in a sinister depths. Choose from 6 warrior classes, each with unique skills and attributes. Use simple controls to fight, block, and dash, and delve into a structured skill tree system for character advancement. Collect gold to purchase equipment from vendors scattered throughout the dungeon. Embark on a perilous journey to conquer the impending darkness lurking within. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Divilixa, an early access 2D top-down retro-wave survival brawler, lacks polished graphics and substantial gameplay depth. The game's basic retro pixel art style, with enemies represented by simple pixel pictures, fails to create an engaging visual experience. Additionally, the absence of enemy animations makes it difficult to anticipate their attacks. The limited character customization options and shallow impact of stats on gameplay further diminish the game's overall appeal. Although some players appreciate the combat mechanics and simplistic controls, the overall consensus is that the game's development state is inadequate. Despite being free to play, its incomplete status and the developer's intention to charge for it in the future significantly impact the game's credibility. In conclusion, the majority of reviewers find Divilixa to be a subpar gaming experience with insufficient development and recommend against investing substantial time or expectations into it. The game Vlad Circus Descent into Madness is a psychological horror tale set in a 1920s freak circus. Follow Oliver Mills as he navigates a labyrinthine mansion filled with secrets and survival challenges, enveloped in evocative pixel art and immersive sound design. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Vlad Circus, a point-and-click adventure game, provides a creepy and gripping experience. Set in a 1920s mansion amid a rainstorm, the game involves playing a mentally unstable clown facing strange characters, blurring the lines between reality and imagination. With an intriguing narrative and atmospheric design, the game effectively evokes discomfort and suspense. Gameplay elements, including puzzles and limited inventory management, are well implemented. The game's narrative delves into heavy subject matters such as mental and physical health, religion, and trauma, leaving a lasting impact on players. Vlad Circus is lauded for its unique approach to horror, delivering a haunting and unforgettable experience that stands out from traditional horror game tropes. Highly recommended for fans of psychological horror games. The game Dark Gravity Prologue is a fast-paced, low-poly vertical shoot-'em-up featuring a non-linear campaign mode with numerous enemies and bosses. Players can craft weapons, upgrade their fighter, and construct the ultimate aerial war machine. Set after the Fifth World War, the game follows the story of a member of the SAF forces tasked with reclaiming the Shieldon base from unknown rebels who possess advanced weaponry. As the plot unfolds, players must confront whether these rebels are the true threat or something even more sinister lurks behind the chaos. The gameplay involves destroying enemies, avoiding bullets, and facing formidable bosses with devastating attacks. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that this game combines faster-than-light's appeal with intense dogfighting elements. However, some found it confusing, expecting a different gameplay style. The game's recurring death mechanic, akin to Groundhog Day, enhances the experience progressively. Many players appreciated the game's difficulty, finding it addictive, while some found it uninteresting and slow-paced in the initial levels. The generic design, indistinguishable power-ups, and mundane music were notable criticisms. The tutorial was considered unnecessarily forced and basic. The free version of the game received mixed feedback. The free version was deemed acceptable, but doubts were raised about the full version's potential. Despite certain technical issues like control detection problems for certain peripherals, the game garnered praise for its engaging gameplay and retro feel. Regarding Dark Gravity, Prologue, the game was commended for its exceptional gameplay and smooth controls. The visually stunning graphics and immersive universe were highlights, although minor texture issues were noted. The intriguing storyline and sound design also received praise, with only occasional muffled dialogue as a minor concern. Overall, the game's potential was widely acknowledged, with reviewers anticipating the full release eagerly. Despite some technical glitches, the engaging gameplay and captivating elements were deemed noteworthy. The game Night Loops is a psychological horror adventure set in an endless mansion trapped in a time loop. Players must navigate intricate puzzles tied to the guests of the seaside hotel, managing psychic masks and investigating dreamscapes to uncover the truth about the hotel and its enigmatic owner. With branching stories and endings, the game offers a unique experience accompanied by an original, gloomy soundtrack. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game offers a unique and immersive experience, blending elements of humanity with a cerebral narrative and a touch of melancholy. While it contains some horror themes, it doesn't rely heavily on jump scares. Initially, the game might feel a bit confusing, but as the story progresses, the puzzle mechanics become more logical. The nuanced writing and subtle world building leave room for speculation, enhancing the overall storytelling. The puzzle mechanics revolving around mask switching are both unconventional and thought-provoking. While the navigation might be challenging in some areas, the game's consistent mood and unique soundtrack contribute to its immersive atmosphere. Some reviewers appreciated the cool narrative elements and the thought-provoking themes, although they wished for more interactions with side characters. The puzzles were considered creative and manageable, while the visual experience, combined with shadow aspect, added to the game's appeal. Some minor issues were noted, like the confusion in certain segments and the length of the game. Overall, the game received positive feedback, with many praising its surreal mood, art direction, and engaging exploration. Multiple endings and the challenge of solving riddles added to the game's appeal. The game Sonic Superstars is a 2D Sonic high-speed action platformer set in the mystical North Star Islands. Players can choose from Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, each with unique abilities, to stop Dr. Eggman, Fang, and a new adversary from turning the island's animals into badniks. The game features 3D graphics, new powers, and abilities, along with 4-player local co-op and an 8-player battle mode. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game prompts for an Epic account, even on Steam. It also has de novo, which was not disclosed by Sega initially. Launching the game leads to repetitive requests to sign in or allow access, and it sometimes opens the manual when trying to quit. The game faces issues with double inputs and soft locking. Despite these technical problems, the game is essentially Sonic 4 Episode 3 with the classic coat of paint and is considered not worth its price. It requires an Epic account for online mode, but the installation of the Epic Games launcher is not necessary. Although some like the game, its short length doesn't justify the cost, and the absence of a distinctive identity compared to previous Sonic games is noted. Level design is criticized for being frustrating in the latter part, with the absence of online co-op also disappointing. The soundtrack is deemed unremarkable, with some music reminiscent of Sonic 4. The bosses are heavily criticized for their difficulty and lack of checkpoints. The presence of de novo and the requirement of an Epic Games account were major surprises, not mentioned during the game's release. The game Alchemist the Persian Monger is a simulation puzzle and RPG that lets players leave their lab to explore a world of anthropomorphic animals. Players can choose from various animal types, each with unique strengths and weaknesses, and brew potions using alchemical tools and ingredients. These potions can be sold to fulfill the needs of the townspeople or used by the player themselves to gain special abilities. Additionally, players can venture into the world to discover secrets, meet NPCs, and gather ingredients, while learning new skills and unraveling the Great Alchemy Wheel. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that this game is well designed and in a good state for early access. The gameplay loop is enjoyable, involving exploration, crafting, and quest completion. There are no performance issues, and the graphics and art style are excellent, with a detailed UI. The gameplay loop is engaging, involving potion making and solving quests. While the game is generally polished, some bugs have been reported, but they are not major. In summary, the game is worth checking out, offering hours of potion crafting and exploration. Some players have expressed a desire for changes, such as a modification to the saving mechanics and improvements to the potion-making system. The game Paraopticon is a spot-the-difference puzzle game where you play as a security guard assigned to compare camera feeds and identify and report various anomalies to survive the night shift. Gameplay involves memorizing rooms within a limited time frame, spotting and reporting anomalies, and utilizing different items to aid in detection. The game is characterized by high-definition graphics, a wide array of items, and an extensive variety of anomalies and entities to encounter. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game fulfills many good aspects of similar games. Starting in easy mode is a downside, making it tedious when anomalies are hard to find. It lacks the option to begin with a higher difficulty. Despite this, the game has good graphics and numerous anomalies, with items available for assistance. The observation duty style is challenging, but the scary anomalies are scarce. The level system is appreciated, offering a sense of progression through maps and items. The game Outpath is a 3D first-person platformer that combines elements from Satisfactory, Forager, and clicker/idle games. Players can gather resources, craft items, build bases, and explore the environment at their own pace. With the option to play actively or passively, the game offers a relaxed and engaging experience. Enjoy the dynamic music that reacts to your in-game actions while uncovering the secrets of this stylized world. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game induces addictive tendencies reminiscent of Forager. The introduction of warrunning has been well received, particularly among some players with autism. Initial skepticism about the game being a mindless clicker was proven wrong, as it offers engaging gameplay. The cycle of collecting items to gather more is enjoyable, akin to a Minecraft gunning simulator. Despite the potential for extended playtime, the game's conclusion provides a satisfying end. However, some worry about the possible expansion of the game in the future, foreseeing a potential loss of productivity in its session. The game Empty Shell is a survival horror roguelite set in a dark, abandoned Japanese industrial facility. Players uncover the facility's sinister history and navigate randomized layouts, facing gruesome creatures, solving puzzles, and managing their inventory to survive. With each death, a new volunteer takes on the challenge, facing different enemies and uncovering 1950s era logs and documents. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that common enemies don't feel like bullet sponges, and the game allows for seamless utilization of both melee weapons and guns. The loot pool is considered relatively fair and balanced. The varied environments and branching levels add to the overall appeal. However, they note that the level transitions aren't always clear, and some levels surprise players with abrupt transitions. The forest level is particularly resource draining, lacking balance in terms of resources and boss difficulty. Visuals and pixelation issues have been a common point of criticism, with some reviewers suggesting toning down the blood and adding outlines to hidden enemies. The game's movement has been described as floaty, and larger rooms can be disorienting due to the zoom. Despite these issues, reviewers believe that the game has the potential for significant improvements with quality of life updates. They find the gameplay tight and engaging with a satisfactory melee system. Some reviewers appreciate the game's blend of tell glitch and SCP, while others commend the addition of the dodge roll mechanic. The recent addition of a bigger UI option has been well received, and reviewers express a desire for additional font scaling options. The game Elaria the Corrupted Throne is a captivating single-player arc adventure that unfolds in a world of epic fantasy. Players awaken without memories and must unravel the mystery behind their undeath while combating a new threatening force. Explore winding dungeons for loot, engage in the premier card battle game Meadow, and enjoy an array of customizable weapons and armors. With over 90 unique abilities and the option of New Game Plus, there's always more to discover in Elaria. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Elaria the Corrupted Throne, despite its flaws, manages to deliver an enjoyable experience. The game's use of pre-made assets and unappealing visual elements may deter some players. Additionally, the click-to-move pathfinding can be cumbersome, requiring players to click precisely near interactive objects. However, the game's clear vision and simplicity contribute to its charm, reminiscent of early MMOs. The combat mechanics are straightforward, emphasizing strategic kiting and precise timing. Players can exploit boss limitations and enhance their abilities through dungeon exploration. Despite its nostalgic plainness, Elaria offers engaging gameplay and unique challenges, catering to a specific audience appreciative of its simple yet rewarding mechanics. The game Castillo the Nine Circles is a retro FPS collectathon combining 90s platformer exploration with the intense action of classic 90s shooters. Players collect power shards hidden in each circle of hell to unlock new areas in the hub and access 9 diverse worlds. Confronting a time-traveling killer, players unlock unique abilities to navigate each world, battling a variety of monsters with a range of deadly weapons. Building up large combos grants a speed boost, while immersing players in the 9 circles of hell, each drawing inspiration from Dante's Inferno and brimming with secrets. The game features an unforgettable cast of characters and a multitude of shiny collectibles to discover. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game offers diverse worlds and engaging theming. They appreciate the introduction of new abilities that incentivize revisiting previous levels. The game is praised for its hidden secrets and fast-paced, enjoyable gameplay. The initial section is deemed mysterious and engaging, gradually immersing players into its world. The addition of features like ziplining is highlighted as a positive aspect. However, some criticism is directed towards inconsistent voice lines and repetitive gameplay elements. Overall, the game is commended for its passionate development, creative design, and swift bug fixes. The blend of first-person shooter mechanics and collectathon elements is well received, with the game's light-hearted approach to storytelling adding to the overall fun experience. Reviewers highly recommend the game for those seeking an entertaining and light-hearted gaming experience. The game Growth is a cozy, hex-grid-based soft strategy puzzle game. Explore and populate a procedurally generated world using the unique abilities of animals. Transform barren landscapes into lush forests, meadows, and more by navigating around obstacles such as mountains and rivers. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Growth is a simple and enjoyable puzzle game suitable for casual and competitive players alike. The game's core gameplay loop is effectively demonstrated in the available demo. It features a calming atmosphere reminiscent of Dorfromantik in tone, although the gameplay mechanics differ significantly. Players must strategically place animals to expand their influence and survive, gradually encountering various animals throughout the game. While the initial stages are beginner-friendly, the game progressively becomes more challenging, often relying on random elements that can make some sessions more difficult than others. Although it is primarily a relaxing experience, some reviewers noted that it can become a bit of a head-scratcher at times, potentially inducing stress, particularly when resources are scarce. Despite this, the game is generally regarded as a fun brain workout that can be enjoyed after a long day of work. While some reviewers found the asking price to be a bit steep for what the game offers, it is generally considered a recommendable option for those seeking a puzzle game to unwind and stimulate their minds. The game NFL Pro Era Roman 2 is a cutting-edge VR experience, allowing players to step into the shoes of a top-tier NFL quarterback. With updated multiplayer and career modes, players can cement their legacy as the greatest of all time. New features like coach's confidence and immersive practice modes enhance gameplay, making it an ultimate test of skill and strategy. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game, at its initial state, had severe technical issues, making it unplayable. Despite the Day 1 patch fixing some problems, the launch was rocky. The visuals were not significantly improved from the previous version, with some instances even showing downgrades and distant elements. The audio remained similar to the previous version, with few notable improvements. Gameplay-wise, there were noticeable enhancements, including smoother gameplay, more plays, and improved scrambling. However, the difficulty level was raised, making it challenging for players to succeed. The game introduced better immersion elements such as a more detailed locker room, interactive team dynamics, and improved on-field experiences. However, some immersion aspects, like player likenesses, were subpar with incorrect ethnicities and jersey numbers for some players. The reviewers suggest that the game is a decent upgrade from its predecessor but could have benefited from more significant updates. They recommend it for those interested in a quarterback simulator, die-hard football fans, and those looking for a multiplayer experience. They express hope for future content updates, though expectations are tempered due to the lack of updates in the previous version. The game Windy Meadow Roadwarden Tale is an enchanting visual novel set in the peaceful commune of Outpath. Delve into the intertwined stories of Vina, Fable, and Laodicea, each facing life-altering choices that shape their destinies. Immerse yourself in a detailed village environment where your choices hold weight and affect the game's outcomes. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Windy Meadow provides a different experience from its predecessor, Roadwarden. While some feel the graphics change is interesting, others consider it a step down. The story is more personal, providing a slice-of-life approach that is charming and detailed. However, it's noted that this visual novel lacks the depth and decision-making of Roadwarden. The game offers 3 interconnected tales, each providing different perspectives on the characters and lore. Despite its relatively short playtime, the quality of the writing and atmosphere compensates for this. Overall, Windy Meadow is seen as a delightful addition to the Roadwarden universe, offering a mellow experience for those interested in exploring more of its world. The game Everbee is a virtual beekeeping simulation that aims to raise awareness about the decline of bee populations. Players can collect resources like nectar and pollen, convert them into honey and wax, and build new cells to grow their beehive. Functional cells can automate tasks, while growing the colony with new worker bees can boost hive productivity. Additionally, players can collect new flowers via a hummingbird to expand their pollination capabilities. And now we come to the reviews. The game map King Prologue invites you to engage in unique, exciting card battles with 30+ heroes to choose from, explore various PvP modes including 2 and 5-player mode, collect heroes of different styles to experiment with different combinations, enjoy the visual effects of the 24 types of unlockable cards, employ strategic gameplay to outmaneuver opponents with the game's unique hero mechanism, delve into the multiple strategy options available in 1 and 2 and 5-player modes, seamlessly play across PC and mobile with the same account. Wishlist now on Steam and stay updated. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that the game has a very catchy and innovative gameplay with many different characters and combinations depth. The art is pleasant, and there is potential for cooperative multiplayer and rooms with friends. However, the only downside mentioned was the pretty annoying background music. Prepare to be captivated by the strategic card game that is considered a true masterpiece. With stunning visuals and engaging gameplay, it is highly recommended for gaming sessions with friends. It's also deemed suitable for mobile or Steam Deck. The mechanics are easy, yet with more characters, there's potential for depth for pro gamers. The art style is compared to old Disney/Nickelodeon cartoons. Some reviewers liken it to Magic: The Gathering, emphasizing the skills for your commander. However, some criticize the gameplay as many fights dissolve into a battle of who can use the most potions, which can get boring. Despite this, there's praise for the various modes and characters available, making it accessible and enjoyable. As it's free, it's suggested to give it a try, with potential for deep strategy once mastered. The game is acknowledged for its unique card mechanics and outstanding art style. Various modes, including the 5-player identity mode, are appreciated for their unpredictability and strategic thinking required. The 1v1 mode is considered great for beginners, with gradually learnable rules and exciting depth. Overall, the game is deemed worth trying, with hopes for more modes and heroes in the future. The game Kidz 64 is a nostalgic 3D platformer reminiscent of classic 64-bit worlds. It requires a controller, Xbox, PS4/5, Switch Pro, Steam Deck, supports dual analog, widescreen, and stereoscopic 3D, and runs at a locked 30fps. The story revolves around Steve, a one-horned goat, and his friend Alexis as they confront an issue in the palindrome-themed town of Wallows Hollow. The game features climbing, headbutting, a small and a large world, 2 linear tile worlds, a hub, and bonus stages, offering 4 minutes 8 hours of gameplay. Players can expect enemies, NPCs, a boss battle, and a dynamic soundtrack, with weightier platforming and squash and stretch cartoon animation. Notably, the game includes impaling chicken-like creatures and Steve's horn, hidden palindromes, and references to the indie platformer Lyle and Cube Sector. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Kidz 64 offers well-crafted puzzles reminiscent of Banjo-Kazooie, along with engaging gameplay elements. Each world has its own unique charm, complemented by witty dialogue and fitting sound effects. However, the game might prove challenging for casual players aiming for 100% completion. The old-school N64 controls add a nostalgic touch, although the absence of alternative control options might be a downside for some. Despite its shortcomings, the game provides a fulfilling experience with its mix of complexity, mysteries, and humorous dialogues. The soundtrack seamlessly blends various instruments, enhancing the overall immersive experience. Kidz 64 boasts diverse levels and detailed designs, ranging from playgrounds to eerie graveyards and a thrilling tower climbing finale. The dynamic soundtrack effectively complements the shifting environments, creating a seamless and immersive gameplay experience.